This is the story of Barq and Philo. In a beautiful valley, surrounded by trees and flowers, there lived a kind horse named Barq. He was a gentle giant with a heart of gold. Barq loved his home in the valley, and he especially loved spending time with his best friend, Philo, the elephant. Philo was a little elephant with big dreams. Even though he was small, he was very smart and kind-hearted. He might have been little, but he had a big imagination and an even bigger heart. Now, Barq and Philo were an unlikely pair, but they were the best of friends, spent their days playing in the meadows and their nights sleeping under the stars. He used his speed and strength to break through the net and clear the way for Philo. Together, they made a mad dash for the forest exit, with Barq leading the way and Philo close behind. They had faced danger together and had learned just how lucky they were to have each other as friends. They knew that no matter what challenges they faced, as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything. So, they lived happily ever after. Barq would tell Philo stories about the world beyond the valley, and Philo would listen with wide eyes and ears. Finally, they reached the edge of the forest and collapsed on the ground, exhausted but free. One day, Barq and Philo decided to go on an adventure to a nearby forest. Carefully explained his idea to Barq, and Barq understood. Together, they got ready to put Philo's plan into action. It was risky, but it was their only chance of escape. They had heard that the forest was full of wonders, and they could unwait to explore it together. As they walked through the trees, they felt like they were in a magical place. The air was filled with the sound of birds, and the forest was beautiful. The hunters were busy, talking and laughing, and they didn't notice Philo at first. But when he was close enough, Philo loudly trumpeted, "Hey, over here, you big bully." The hunters turned around and saw Philo. They were angry, but they were also surprised. They couldn't believe a little elephant had outsmarted them. But as they ventured deeper into the woods, they realized they were in trouble. They had walked right into the nets of some bad hunters. The hunters had set up the nets to catch animals to sell at the market, and they had trapped Barq and Philo. Barq was scared. His heart was pounding and his breathing was fast, but Philo didn't panic. He knew that if he could just stay calm, he would be able to come up with a plan to escape. So Philo, the elephant, started thinking. He thought and he thought until he had a great idea. Philo led the way, keeping his eyes sharp and his ears open for any sound. As the hunters ran towards Philo, Barq put his plan into action. The hunters tried to stop them, but it was no use. Barq and Philo were too quick for them. From that day on, Barq and Philo lived a happy and peaceful life in the valley.